Timmy Joe reviews anything.
Reviewing computer parts on YouTube.
That's
Woo! Gotta be pumped on that, right, Will? Computer parts! Woo!
Oh yeah.
What's up, my sly dogs? It's Timmy Joe. I make videos about the computers on the internet. You're tired of hearing it by now. What's up? Today on the docket, the, everyone's heard of this product. The Sacpro Fanless Mini PC. That's a thing. You have no idea, do you? This is a fanless mini PC I was canvassed, emailed about. Probably a few other tech reviewers were also emailed. It's a product that's looking to launch, as far as I can tell at least. And it's a pretty cool little computer. It's on right now. No fans, can't hear it. So we're going to get into, tearing this down, because I have a feeling there's some fun stuff in here to check out, as well as kind of do a little digging on what the hell is a Sacpro, where the hell this came from, and some things and stuff, because it's kind of weird the way this came up, and some other people have pointed this out too. So I'm doing my research for this video today. I find out I'm not the only one, so let's dig into it. So basically, when you hit about 5,000 subscribers, you start getting emails from Amazon and AliExpress and stuff like that. People, they want you to review these crap products. You get a lot of emails around 5,000. You start getting more and more iPhone cases and $50 drones and anything that's kind of hip. Some Chinese versions trying to sell it on Amazon, they'll send you a review sample, and I did a little bit of that in the past, like some power banks and stuff, but I try not to, because number one, it's not very engaging. It's put a video up, get some practice, whatever, but once you get to a certain point, you start looking at those emails. This one, however, I did answer, though, because there was some interesting information. There was some stuff looking at. So if I load up the email for it, you see here the guy emailed me, and he was looking to do send me a PC. He says it's a G4560 in this thing with an SSD, a G4400 even, and a 128 gig SSD with 4 gigs of RAM. It doesn't look anything like what was actually sent to me. It's this weird Xbox. That's actually one of the reasons why I got this. Was it looks so similar to my Xbox build. I was wondering how the hell they crammed a computer in it, and thought maybe I could take it apart and put it in another console or something, which we might get to at some point. But they said it's going to be $249. It's a Sacpro high performance fanless PC. So when I actually I kind of just stopped emailing the guy, emailed him back. He's like, "Where are you, dude? I really want to send this to you." So I accepted. I sent him my address. I wound up getting this in the mail a few weeks later, and it was shipped in this with some bubble wrap from China. So there was some battle damage right here and here. There's some cracks in the casing, but functional, works, has Windows on it, actually has a big hard drive in it, an SSD, and a Core i5, which makes no sense at all. So I started doing some, research for this episode. I want to make sure I had all my ducks in a row. And we see here, if you Google Sacpro, can't find this company. I thought maybe there'd be a Kickstarter. I've asked them for information, product page. They say they don't have them. This is a prototype. We'll send it to some people in the wild and see. And it's much different than what they, said they were going to send me, which was to my benefit. It's a lot better of a system. But the only other person that's reviewed this, as far as I can tell, is Toasty Bros. Now, I don't know much about Toasty Bros. I don't really watch their channel. They're about the same size as me, so it would make sense. And he goes on to say,
and they expected me to test it, not open it up, not see exactly what is in this system, and report back that this system is one of the best $249 PCs you could buy for the performance. Or they were just trying to bribe me off with PC hardware in here to basically make a review and say, don't worry about what the advertising image looks like. Still buy this PC anyway.
Now, he's going on about this. He's basically saying he was being played to, sell their mini PC as a better PC than it is, or, these Chinese guys or whoever, Sacpro, are going to send out a review unit that had a lot better specs and expect us to, relay that this thing was amazing or show benchmarks for our Core i5, but what's actually in there is a 4400. I got no literature or semblance of that happening. If anything, I think there's just a language barrier there, where maybe this is a prototype, don't really understand to tell us that. There's definitely something going on here. Getting an Amber Alert. You guys seen a black-haired man stole a little boy? Let the police know. Anyways, That's probably sad. It's right in the middle of my review, you bastard. I have all of the ringers turned off. It was still jiggling. Anyways, I guess that's just the way that works. Cool. So he's reviewing this thing saying maybe, or he's not even going to review it. He's just like, I'm not, they're pulling a scam. I don't think they're pulling a scam. If anything, I think they really wanted to get this thing out there, and maybe their funding dropped off, and this is where this is going to end, because I've been trying to email them ever since, and no one's given me any reply. I wanted to find out if there was some sort of Kickstarter I was supposed to put in the description for this PC or something. There's no information. So Toasty Bro, I don't think there's any nefarious stuff going on here. I will, however, say I feel really weird about connecting it to my home network, seeing as there's like a Chinese version of Windows installed on it, and I don't think I'm going to do that. So I'm gonna probably just end up putting my own hard drives in this thing, or formatting it and putting Windows back on. But there's some performance here, because it's not a G4400. It is a Core i5. It's even a 7400. So that's a 3 gigahertz low power Core i5 from the Kaby Lake generation. It has 8 gigs of RAM in it too. Now I've poked around in it a little bit, and we'll see here the package temperature is at 47 degrees and staying there in a Cinebench run. It's only 4 cores, there's no hyper threading, at 3 gigahertz. So these are known to be pretty low power chips, but pretty cool that I even got a Core i5 from last generation for free in this thing. Like that's awesome. And I don't think it's going to stay like this. Would the Amber Alert stop? Oh my god. Anyway, so once this finishes up, I have very little extra information. There's not much that came in the box. It has a power brick. It's nice and white. Okay. It has this plastic casing. It stands up vertically. You can tell there's a huge heatsink in it, and there is heat emanating off of the top of this. But, we got 501 in Cinebench. That's not bad at all for what is essentially a completely quiet, completely usable PC that you can't game on or anything because it doesn't have a dedicated graphics card, and we all know that the integrated graphics on a Core i5 Kaby Lake, you'd be lucky to play 720p games at low settings. Anyways, so you can imagine with the specs that's in it, a 7400, 8 gigs of DDR4, it'd be an awesome media center PC or something like that. But as far as what else is there to review on it, well, I've had it on for a good period of time, running the IDA 64, just to make sure that it didn't thermal throttle or get to a point. It's geared too low to do any of that. It gets about to 60 degrees, 65 degrees, depending on the ambient, and that's where it stays. So, yeah. Here, let's go ahead. It's off. Yeah, we'll switch back to this Toasty Bros. Yeah, shut up. There we go. Timmy Joe. I want to take the sucker apart. So, yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to take this sucker apart. I want to see how they did this fanless design. I want to, hi there, camera up there. I want to also see if I can reverse engineer any of this cooler into another application. I want to know if there's a PCIe slot, so that if I wanted to, I could put a different casing on this and add a graphics card with maybe a riser or something. Okay, this is interesting. There is a really nice SODIMM slot. Oh, there's 2 populated. Okay, and there's, what is that? That's your drive. Okay, so there's no PCIe, so you're not adding any external graphics to this unless you want to use one of these M.2 slots to break away and do that whole external GPU thing, which really makes me sad. I was hoping that this would, kind of, I could use this as a starting point to do something different. We also see, like, where is it powered from? That's It's just powered, yeah. So the brick plugs directly into the motherboard, and then there is an extra slot you can power it from, but that's weird. And there's fan headers. So there's a little ITX board in there that is, you know, gonna be well good enough to even have some variety of Core i7 on, but there's a nice Core i5 in here right now, and yeah, 7400, 3 gigahertz. You know, that's the real deal. I think all you could really do with this is make it, you know, put it in an even smaller chassis with a fanned, you know, whatever. But here, I want to get this heatsink off. This thing looks like this was engineered, or you know, it's some sort of part that's been reused for this application that really works well and makes sense. It looks like it's aluminum, but I'll have to judge that once I pick it up. There's some standoffs. Like, yeah, I'd say it's aluminum. Yeah, definitely aluminum. It would have to be for the transfer of heat and all that. But yeah, there's just some. You could play it like a flute. It's you know, you could take it apart itself. It's kind of sandwiched together there, but you know, it does work. I've had the system run IDA 64, you know, the stress test, and after like 45 minutes, it was at like, it wasn't even at 60 degrees. It like went up into 60s for a second, came back down, and you could feel the heat emanating off of it. So when it comes down to it, it's really limited by its inability to have any sort of external graphics card, and them calling it a high-performance fanless PC, like, you know, you could go buy a Dell Vostro from a few years ago with this same caliber of CPU in it. It's not going to be much bigger. It might have a fan in it. It's not going to be much louder. And you know, I use one at work every day. It's a Core i5 system that's about this big, and it has the ability to add an external graphics card if you really wanted to. It has 2 PCIe slots on it, and it's not much bigger than this. And I'm never like, man, that thing's loud. So where this fits in the market, I don't know. If this had a Ryzen APU on it, I think I just figured it out. Let's put next episode, Ryzen APU. So I'll see you guys in another video. I'm at Watch TV Joe. I don't think this is a scam. I just think it's some language barrier situation going on where these guys want to build some cool product, don't really know how to talk to the West about it. They sent it to us without much information, and maybe they have a different, you know, they have to show a proof of concept before they're allowed to launch I don't know. We'll see you guys in another video. If you have any questions, I probably can't answer them.